President Akufo-Addo is expected to address the UN General Assembly on 4 thematic action tracks in New York on September 19, 2022. He's expected to make a statement on the reforms in Ghana's education sector with focus on thematic area 2, learning and skills for life, work and sustainable development. On the issues of the review of free SHS policy, the Director General of the Institute for Education Planning and Administration at the University of Cape Coast, Dr. Boakye-Yiadom, said the call for review should be guided by data and a comprehensive public consultation.
It's a government policy. There are calls to consider a review. I would prefer that we have the discussion and we allow data to drive this discussion. So my preference will be if indeed we are going to consider a review, there will be some national consultations to seek people's opinions. I believe that we should allow that consultation to drive the review. There have been many personal opinions on this, and I think we must drive this discussion with more data-driven arguments and discussions, and I think that will be helpful. The President has made a comment that they may consider that. Other national experts in education in that areas have also made that comment, that suggestion. Let's see how it goes. But my point is that whether there is going to be a review or not, or if there's going to be a review, it must be driven by data, and that not by passion and not by political interest, but it must be driven by data.
The Transforming Education Summit initiative, which was launched by the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres a year ago, was intended to focus on 4 thematic areas to drive a collective goal towards achieving Sustainable Development Goal 4. This includes inclusive, equitable, safe and healthy schools, financing education, among others. At a press conference ahead of the consultation outcome and reforms presentation at the United Nations General Assembly, the convener of the initiative in Ghana, Dr. Boakye-Yiadom, indicated that Ghana has chosen to focus on thematic action 2, which requires that the youth should be equipped with skills. Hence, much focus has been placed on TVET education.
Our feedback from the consultations seem to direct to the fact that we need to work more on skill development as a nation. And rightly so, you realize that the government of Ghana has put in a lot of measures to promote TVET. Now we have TVET services, we have commission for TVET, and there is very strong commitment to skill development within the educational system. So the consultations led to the selection of thematic action track 2, which is learning and skills for life, work and sustainable development. But we didn't end there. We decided to use the remaining 4, the other 4 thematic tracks, to drive the thematic action track 2. And we asked ourselves a question, that in all that we do in education, to what end? The teaching, the learning, the research, the outreach, and all the things that we do, to what end? And the direct answer seemed to be to develop skills for learning, work, and life. And that is one of the reasons why we thought that as a country, we want to focus on thematic action track 2.
To achieve an inclusive education, persons living with disabilities have raised concerns over an ending stigmatization and discrimination from the public, a situation Dr. Boakye-Yiadom believes should be corrected through education.
We seem to sometimes forget about people living with disabilities in planning whatever we do in the educational system. And even when we don't forget about them and we plan for them, inadequate resources make it difficult for them to integrate and be successful in the educational system. And then there is always stigma according to their own voices. Stigma from home, from the communities, stigma from the school community, stigma at churches, stigma at marketplaces, stigma everywhere. So we need to educate ourselves as a nation that people with disabilities are not disabled people. They are people who are different, and that doesn't make them disabled. So sometimes the language even matters. So that also came very strongly.